Hey friends, welcome back to Champagne and Check-ins. I'm Belita. We just got back from our Alaska cruise a couple days ago. After months of planning and preparation, we got to experience it for ourselves, and I'm excited to share everything with you. The breathtaking scenery, the excursions that we did, what surprised us, what we wish we'd have done differently. And I'm going to break it down over a few different videos over the next couple weeks. So be sure and subscribe so you don't miss anything, and so we can relive this beautiful adventure together. Today, I'm just going to talk about the itinerary and the excursions that we did. So our itinerary began in Vancouver, Canada. So we flew from Florida on Sunday because our cruise was sailing on Monday. We left about 9:40 in the morning, but Vancouver's 3 hours behind us. So when we got into Vancouver, it was about 7:15 at night. Very long travel day. We had arranged for a van to pick us up at the airport. Who showed up was a driver with an SUV. Now there was four of us, and we had four pieces of check-in luggage. We all had carry-on luggage and personal items, jackets. So it was something trying to pack all that into an SUV. It did have 3 rows, but we had to lay the seats down to get all the luggage in. And I sat in the very back with luggage all around me, all around my head, and luggage in my lap. It was quite comical. Looking back on it now, it's pretty funny, but that night it wasn't funny to me at all. Worked out, and he got us to our hotel, which was a Residence Inn by Marriott in downtown Vancouver. It was awesome. Vancouver is a beautiful city, and the staff at the hotel was amazing. Our room was incredible. It had, a sitting area, bathroom, kitchen area that was fully stocked with dishes. There was a refrigerator, a stovetop, a microwave, a sink. So it was incredible. We loved it. I would recommend it. And if we are in Vancouver again, we'd definitely stay there again. And we were only about 10 minutes from the cruise terminal, which was really great. One of the ladies at the front desk gave us a name of someone that would pick us up and take us to the cruise terminal. So we got that worked out. He picked us up in a huge van that accommodated all of our luggage, helped us get everything over to the cruise terminal. He was wonderful. And when we got to the cruise terminal, it was a little crazy. We had asked for a 9:30 check-in, which, we had to through customs, or actually went through check-in first. Then we had to wait a little bit for customs to open. Then, we did that, and then we had to just sit in some chairs and wait to get on the ship, which I don't think we got on until like 11:30, maybe 11:45. Had we known that, we would have just asked for a later check-in. But again, it was something that sort of took us by surprise, but it worked out. We got on the ship and went and got something to eat. It was probably about 2 o'clock before we get in our cabins, but everything was fine. You're on vacation, so how bad can it really be? We were, with our friends and having, the best time. So our first day was a sea day that was taking us to Ketchikan, which when we got into Ketchikan, we didn't have an excursion booked. Ketchikan's small, and we're not there very long. So what we really wanted to do was to see Creek Street. And we were able to do that. We shopped on Creek Street. We saw totem poles. We got to eat some seafood, Alaskan crab at one of the seafood restaurants, which was really great. And then we just headed back to the ship because we had an early dinner reservation, so all that worked out fine. So the next day was Juneau, and we had a whale watching excursion that we booked, and it was with Alaska Tales. They were amazing. The naturalist on board was awesome and so informative. The captain was great and got us out to where we could see whales. We learned a lot about the whales, how to spot them, what they do first, the blowing. They do, you know, when they're getting ready to come up out of the water. We got to see whales, their fluke coming up out of the water. Got lots of pictures and videos of that I'll be posting. So that was really great. Juneau was beautiful. Then our next port was Skagway, and we had booked the White Pass Railway, and we did that with the ship, and it took us 3,000 feet up the mountain. Amazing, spectacular views. I can't say enough wonderful things about it. It was, you have to do that excursion if you go to Skagway. We'll be posting. We got lots of videos in Skagway, so that was one of our favorite places. And let's see, where do we go next? Icy Strait Point, which was one of the places that surprised us, because we almost didn't get off the ship. We didn't even really know it was there, but we're like, you know what? We're here in port. We might as well get off and see what it's about. And it was incredible. There's only like 300 people on the island. You can only get there by plane or ferry. It was just amazing. The mountains, just the beauty, the water. We just walked around in shops and watched for bald eagles. We saw one in a tree, and just saw them flying around too. So we'll be posting, you know, those pictures as well. It was incredible, and again, one of our favorite places. Next day was Hubbard Glacier. First of all, they said we'd be there about 7:30. Walked out on our balcony, and I saw like this little flat piece of mountain with ice on it, and I'm like, oh, you know, well, that's pretty. I'm gonna be honest, I was a smidge disappointed at what I was expecting. I was thinking of something more grandiose. You know, we got ready, we went up on the top deck, and when we did, there was Hubbard Glacier in all of its glory, and it was absolutely stunning. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen. It was so beautiful. Lots of pictures and videos there too, so we'll be posting that. Our next and last port was into Whittier. We booked an excursion to take us, instead of a transfer, just to take us from Whittier to the airport. We did an excursion. It was like a 6-hour excursion. It would take us to see more of Alaska. And I can't tell you how happy we are that we did it. It was with White Raven Tours or Adventures, I can't remember, but I'll put all this information under the video. When I'm done, I'll put all of our excursions and everything. So Kimberly was fantastic. She gave you just enough information, but she took us to several places. The first place she took us was to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. And we saw so many animals that we did not get to see because we didn't book those kind of excursions. But we saw moose and elk and caribou and muskox, coyotes, owls, bear. It was fantastic. It really was. I'm so glad that we did that excursion to see more of Alaska. She took us to a chocolate factory. She took us to a couple other places, but otherwise we would have got to the airport like at, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. We'd have had to sit there till 8 o'clock at night. That got us to there about 2:30, 2:45, so we didn't have to sit there quite as long. So definitely would suggest that to you, to my clients. I can't say enough good things about Alaska. You hear people say sometimes that where they live or places they visited, that it's God's country. I can tell you that Alaska is absolutely God's country. I have booked it many, many times for clients. I've been there a couple times myself. So I have a lot of information, tips, and whatever that I can share with you. So if you're interested, Please subscribe, follow along, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you with it. But, just follow along the next couple weeks because I'm going to post some other videos and pictures. And I think one of the biggest things that we took away from this is that we talked about it. We knew that it was going to be a long day from Anchorage into Florida. But I don't think you still aren't prepared for it. It is a long flight. So I think for us, that was probably one of the things. I think we would have flown to Anchorage first next time, and then flew our furthest point first, and then sailed down to Vancouver. But it doesn't matter. All the hours of travel days, on the travel days, everything was worth what we got to see. If you're interested, just reach out. I'll be glad to help you. Like we always say, travel should be as smooth as your check-ins and as sparkling as your champagne. So thanks for watching and keep following along.